Falling like trees with no one around. Raise our voices together, or we won't make a sound. Lift me up and I'll lift you straight to the sky. Back me up and I'll have your back till we die. 'Cause we're a team. Come together with me. Be what we wanna be. Unstoppable now 'cause we're a team. Oh, we got this. Here's my distress sign. Somebody get my SOS in time. So are you with me? I need a squad through thick and thin. I gotta rely on you. No matter what tragedy I'm in. Forever allies, together we rise. No matter how high we can rise. 'Cause we're standing on our shoulders, tall as giants. Or else we'd just be falling like trees with no one around. Raise our voices together, or we won't make a sound. Lift me up and I'll lift you straight to the sky. Back me up and I'll have your back till we die. 'Cause we're a team. Come together with me. Be what we wanna be. Unstoppable now 'cause we're a team. Oh, we got this. Hey, we got this. We got this. The strength in numbers, and under the gun we'll win the day. My reinforcements are gearing up and on their way. You gotta back up, we'll get you back up. No matter what force knocks you down. You got to have your family on the front lines. Or else we just be falling like trees with no one around. Raise our voices together, or we won't make a sound. Lift me up and I'll lift you straight to the sky. Back me up and I'll have your back till we die. 'Cause we're a team. Come together with me. Be what we wanna be. All for one 'cause it's a we're a team. We got this. We got this. We're a team. We got this. Falling like trees, making beautiful sounds. Raise our voice like a choir for miles around. Lift me up, and I'll lift you straight to the sky. Back me up, and I'll have your back till we die. 'Cause we're a team. Falling like trees, making beautiful sounds. Raise a voice like a choir for miles around. Lift me up, I'll lift you straight to the sky. Back me up, I'll have your back till we die. 'Cause we're a team. We got this. We're a team. We got this. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Team. Oh, we're a team. Got you back 'cause we're a team.
Back me up, and I'll have your back till we die. We got this.
So how do you like that anthem? We got this, courtesy of Walt White. Greg found that, and I loved it right away. And you will be hearing more of that in just about 15 days. Hi, my name's Dan Harrison. I'm your host. Welcome to NuPath Live. It's been a while since we've had one. There's a few things going on around here. We're going to spend a good portion of our time talking about the walk and talking to a couple of key and important fundraisers, hearing from them, maybe learning something. But you know what? Before we do that, I want to just say we're taping this on Wednesday because of a conflict we have. So you'll be watching this 24 hours after it was recorded, and looking at the volatility of the leaderboard. I want to just put a disclaimer out that whatever you're hearing right now could change by the time you're actually watching this tomorrow, because it's that chaotic, not chaotic, emergent, organic stuff's happening all over the place. We are doing an amazing job. We need to be doing an amazing job because we've got the biggest goal we've ever had of 375,000. But before we go to that real quickly, I want to just say again, why is this so important? We get funded by the state. That's where we get most of our money to provide the services. But with so many of the things that came unexpectedly through the higher inflation, and of course we've talked ad nauseum about the staffing crisis and the shortage, and trying to give some of the hiring bonuses and the sign-on bonuses, all the money we spent with that. We need to get money from anywhere we can in order to maintain the high quality and the expectations. And that's why, not to mention the fact that October 1st is going to be is open enrollment for the New Year's plan. Not that this is your worry, it's why I look the way I do and have no hair, but it went up 13% this year. Our health insurance for our staff is the most expensive, the highest expensive anything we have. Something like 1.6 million a year premiums. 13% of that is a lot of money, and of course we strive to have the best for our staff. So every dollar is important, and that's why your giving is so essential. And if you are somebody who has donated and pledged already, thank you. Yeah. So we also gave our union staff 3% raise that was due them October 1st. We have made it retroactive a few months to July 1st to give them a little extra because we can, and they are so essential and so important. So a lot going on. Okay, well, there should be no surprise anywhere in this organization that being just about 2 weeks away from Walk Day, what do we call that, W Day? We are killing it so far. And my next guest is somebody very beloved across the organization, especially by me. She is the mother of somebody living in one of our programs, and she has agreed to come on, even knowing me. But first, let's just set the stage. Walktoberfest, October 15th. If you're not registered yet, then don't talk to me. I don't even want to look at you. You've got to be there. This is the 10th annual. There's a million reasons why you should be there. I won't go into them all. Just register. If you've looked at the leaderboard, which I do multiple times a day, this is last night. We're at 230,000, 61% of our goal, but we still got a ways to go in 2 weeks. Yeah, we'll definitely pull it off, but time to really get things in motion if you haven't already. So that's the important thing. If you wanted to look at who was among the top fundraisers, and that would be our guest, if you were watching on Saturday, rocketed into first place position. I'm not sure what time it happened, but I looked at my phone, I saw it, I was like, ah! And I texted her and tried to find out what happened, because it's not that often that you see this kind of drastic movement. Betsy Bollier is has at an all-time record high of 12,000 and currently in first place. And she's also a very modest person that doesn't yet have a team name. So we'll talk to her about that a little later on. But she has met her own personal fundraising goal of over $12,000. It is astounding what this woman has done. And this is not the first year either. There have been many, many consecutive years where she's ranked in the top 10 or the top 5. Betsy Bollier, our dear Betsy Bollier. Let's also formally, on May 15th, was part of our Unity Forum with her son James, and today she's gracing our stage. I give you Miss Betsy Bollier. Let's get her on here. Hi, Betsy.
Hello.
Was that too bad? That little...
Not too bad.
My dad would always say, "Oh, love you, just use such flowery language." I don't. People say you exaggerate. I don't exaggerate. Everything I said about you is true, and I stand behind it. You have been with us now how long? How long has James been in our program? Can you remind me?
Since 2008.
2008.
Yeah.
That's incredible. We were talking about and I can say it now because I know, but Jackie Bell, who is the manager of Mill Street now. What did you say about Jackie? see if she's listening to NuPath Live.
That I think she's terrific, that I love her. I think she's the best house manager we've had. Oh, I hope some of the other former house managers aren't listening, but.
Don't worry about them.
And I hope she stays there forever. So.
Oh, that feedback is music to my ears. Jackie, wherever you are, we love you because you're treating this house as important as it is.
She's done a great job there.
And James is doing well?
He is, yep. He's very happy.
Quite a bit different from when we talked last, when you were, you had him at home and it was May,
Yes.
just a couple of months into the pandemic. It's been quite a ride, hasn't it?
It sure has.
But we're going to put that behind us because Saturday, October 15th, we have our Walktoberfest. Now, talk to us. You said to me, and this would be, you know, an alternate introduction of you, somebody that's doesn't do anything special, doesn't have anything important to talk about, didn't do anything amazing. Although I think most anybody out there watching would say $12,050 is astounding. How did you do it? You're not a fundraiser. You're not a development director. You're not classically trained in how to get money from people.
Now, once I register and I have my page set up, I post it to Facebook, and then I just set about sending emails. I email virtually everyone I know who might be willing to donate, and I send emails out in groups. Like to my book group and to my neighbors and to my family, which A, makes it easier rather than going one at a time, because I must send 40 emails or more. And B, I feel doesn't put people on the spot the way it would if I was going one at a time. And I never follow up on emails. People give or they don't. And they do give because they know how important organizations like NuPath are. And they know how grateful I am that James is there, that he has a place there, and how good it has been for him. So that's really all I do. I don't make phone calls. I don't ask people in person. Again, I feel that puts people on the spot, and also I'm not that brave. So I just do emails and don't follow up. Well, except maybe from my younger brother. I think I might have to give him a nudge, but nobody else do I go back and say, oh, you know, what do you say? You're going to give?
Well, you've got some special friends. That may not be the advice that anyone's going to hear coming out of my mouth, because I think I tell people, just pick up the phone and call. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to send a reminder email. Your friends are the kind of people that, you know, always, you know, pay their bills on time and never forget somebody's birthday and send a thank you card when you've been over to your house for dinner. Some people need a little bit more reminding, but you're in a fortunate position. But you're accessing, you're mobilizing the people that are close to you, that are in your circle of influence, that you know that people give to people. None of those people will be giving a NuPath. They're giving to you because it's important to you. And I blew right through it, kind of in a hurry. I forgot, but I had created a graphic where I went to your website, to your walk page, and I pulled out a sentence that you had written, and I'm trying to remember it now off the top of my head, but it was something to do with this is very important to me, to James and me, and I would do anything for NuPath or something like that, to that extent. And I was reading that, Betsy, and it just touched me so much to see what you were saying about that, and to know that that's how you felt. And because we're trying to raise this money to advance. It looks like Greg maybe has it up on there on the screen now. I can't quite see it, but it's that kind of meaningful experience, and that kind of, you know, that bond that I think that number one, you know, creates something that is important for us. Because we're in this for the marathon. This is the long haul. This isn't just, you know, going out for dinner one night and saying, I'm not going back to that restaurant. This is about, you know, a collaborative approach that involves much more than me. I'm just this guy, you know, sitting in an office. It's the people that are out in the front row. And if you're family watching this and haven't gotten involved, maybe Betsy would it could be an example. Were you always good at raising money, or was it really when you started with NuPath, or?
I think it was really just with NuPath. When the first walk was organized by a volunteer at NuPath, actually. I can't remember her name. And I think that's when it started. And I just, went through my usual process. And people give not only to me that they know me, but almost everybody I reach out to also knows James. Obviously the family, obviously, friends that I have through church. He comes to church with me, so they've seen him. They see him walking with me in the neighborhood. So they know me and mostly know James, and they just want to support the two of us.
Incredible. Well, I know you're a busy lady. Before we wrap up, will you please let me pitch you 3 or 4 ideas for possible team names? Now, I know you're fine with Betsy Bollier, but for years I've been saying that somebody that is hovering around 3rd to 1st place every year, there needs to be a name that becomes part of the iconic, sort of stratosphere or the history of the organization. So if you let me pitch you, is that all right if I give you, I think 4 or 5 that I maybe have? So no particular order. Okay, so the first one is the Bollier Bullet Train. It connotes speed, direction, velocity, or force. No? Not so keen on that?
I'll think about it.
Okay, we'll think about it. Okay, we're going to go to number 2. We'll pitch you a second idea. All right, the Boundless Bolliers. This is the boundless love, the boundless reach, the boundless quality of your friends and loved ones. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3 is just Betsy Bollier, like a mom, but better. So, and I've got 2 versions. One, to see which one you prefer, where you can choose from A or B. So that's kind of going along with the theme that you have now, Betsy Bollier, branding yourself like a mom, but better. See, Betsy Bollier, but better. Okay. No, you're not keen on that? Look at you on the Rosie the Riveter. And then my favorite, the Beloved Bolliers.
Oh.
Could be, maybe because you are beloved by so many, and me. I love talking to you, and you can have your people get back to my people.
Okay.
Your agent. Betsy Bollier, we love you. We are so happy that you are part of this organization. You are doing your part and being of such important service to us during this time. It's very important to us, and that means a lot. That means a lot to me and to all of us. And I just I'm glad we had a chance to talk. And you're gonna be there on Saturday the 15th.
Oh yes, yeah, I wouldn't miss it. It's fun.
It's even gonna be more
I'm looking
fun.
forward to it, huh?
And you're gonna have a chance to see our fountains, the 2 fountains that we built. The one is the renewal, and that is going to reflections. That's the big one, and that is going to be a place where we record the name and the date of birth and death of people that have lived with us or worked for us, and it's just a way to keep them as part of our.
Yeah, that's lovely.
And then the smaller one we're calling renewals, so it's reflections, renewal, and smaller, and that's going to be dedicated to the staff and everybody. Families that helped see us through the pandemic, got us through some dark days, and it just puts a whole different feel to that back park of Jubilee Park.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be there on Saturday too for you to see, and a beer garden if that's your cup of tea.
Yeah, I was a little curious when I read that part. I thought I got to see that.
Hey, you will see it, and if you are still in first place by then, we'll give you a personal tour. Yeah, we'll let you first through the line. How about that?
Yeah, okay.
Betsy, thank you so much for your time.
You are welcome. Thank you for all you do.
All right. My next guest is a well-known feature of our live broadcast that is hosted on my behalf. As he is a fundraiser extraordinaire, and a million other things to this organization. And he has agreed to talk to us today, and I'm looking forward to my conversation with Mr. James Sanon. Let's bring him on. And hi, James.
Hi, Dan. How are you?
I am I'm confused. You and I were talking as we were getting ready to record this, and we are recording it for NuPath live broadcast tomorrow due to some conflicts that we have. So just put that out there. And the information that you're about to see, ladies and gentlemen, could very well have shifted completely by the time this is being aired tomorrow. So that disclaimer needs to come out because things are that volatile. James, we were talking about some of the distance we'd seen with MC Hammers kind of starting to trail. I was getting myself a little puffed up from the Board of Believers. You had some response to that. Then we looked down at my phone, the leaderboard, and suddenly MC Hammers were like neck and neck with Board of Believers. What's going on? Talk to us about what your thoughts are. And you, of course, team captain for Team New Boston Strong.
Sure. Well, with the exception of Team New Boston Strong, it seems like the race is heating up. New Boston Strong, we have a pretty significant lead, so I'm not worried about the Board of Believers or the MC Hammers. I'll let you guys battle that out to see who comes in second or third. So for now, we're just cruising along, seeing who's going to be our competitor. But I believe what's going on is a lot of fundraising events are happening as we're approaching the big event on the 15th. And some of the teams are having events, and you're seeing the fruit of their success with the events, and that's why you're seeing a fluctuation. And I anticipate there's going to be a lot of fluctuation for the next couple of weeks as the events continue. And I'm also predicting that the MC Hammers are not happy to be in third place by far. And I could probably see steam coming out of Elder's head right now. So,
you know, James, you have been formative in NuPath's kind of approach to fundraising, especially in what we would call the fundraising within fundraising, sort of these micro events or these mini event type of things. You just had the spaghetti dinner last Thursday. You emailed me with the results. You served how many dinners? Do you remember what it was? Like, what off the top of your head, just whereabouts?
Off the top of my head, I would have to say well over 200 dinners.
And that's spaghetti, meatballs, salad. I think a dessert.
Full line of desserts.
James,
Oh,
you're a fit guy. You exercise a lot. You said your legs were killing you after.
Well, I was a waiter that night, and I did not stop. The outcome was so wonderful. The people who showed up and supported the cause and had a great meal, they really put me to work. I did not stop running around all night long serving. It was a great way to get a workout in.
James, you know, the feeling that you have after you've been successful in something like that is pretty incredible. Don't you know? It's you worked hard. Your body was fatigued, but you also had a sense of accomplishment.
Yes.
That's what's in store for anybody that's putting their nose to the grind here and joining forces, whether you're on Team New Boston Strong or MC Hammers or Board of Believers. It really doesn't matter. Well, if you're really needy and need to be first place all the time, maybe it does matter to you. But at the end of the day, on that day, on race day, we've done the hard work. We have stretched ourselves. We have challenged ourselves in ways that are increasingly more bold and courageous every single time we do one of these. And there's nothing like that feeling, you know, of being successful. And the community that you had that night at your spaghetti dinner, that was amazing. You know, just seeing everybody come. You had families, and I expect.
Oh yes, we had plenty of families. Some of the families brought their friends. So it wasn't only the direct NuPath family. It was an event for families and friends of families, and people showed up. Our parking lot looked pretty full. You would have thought the day program never shut down. It was still running all day.
I'm really sorry I couldn't be there. I hope you used my money towards somebody else that needed it, you know, for the ticket. But you are some might say that you are in an you're in a very enviable position. If you look at your team members, I don't know if Greg's got that information to throw up. You have got some of the highest fundraisers on your team in the entire organization. Amy Mondeser, she's Sharon Pitts, have their gram stuff. These are all Dynasty members. Some new people emerging. Ken Baldy is raising a lot of money this year. I understand Karen Franklin's joined your team. You've had some defections as well. What's your strategy been this year? Like, how do you inspire this? How is it evolved? Can you give us just the broad brushstrokes?
Sure. Don't like to tell all the secrets, but I will share some. One thing is make sure it's fun. You know, we want to make sure that we're having fun doing this. And it's people who believe in what we're doing in the cause. So as long as you have those two components, you're going to have a very productive, well-run team. And we make sure that before you join New Boston Strong, that you understand the expectation as a New Boston Strong member. That
what do you say? How do you tell us about that? So not everybody. If you are an employee whose day begins and ends or is connected with New Boston Strong, 147 New Boston Street, you're not automatically a member of the team. You have to be admitted into it.
Correct. So we invite every employee out of New Boston Street. So New Boston Street, 147, there's numerous fundraising teams out of New Boston Street. That's what some people don't understand. That is not only New Boston Strong. So we have numerous teams trying to recruit. And what we do is make sure we just send a friendly invitation and speak to you in person, make it personable, and talk to you about New Boston Strong, let you know the other options too. We're not going to, we want to be fair about it. We want to let you know there's other teams you can fundraise for because we're all in it together. However, if you want to be on a winning team, New Boston Strong is the team to go to. If you want to be on a team that has fun, New Boston Strong is the one to go to. And we have the history to prove it, which I am holding. This is getting heavy. So anybody who wants to join New Boston Strong,
oh Lord,
look
at those dates, and you've won all but one.
Yes, except for one, which what happens when you poke the sleeping bear. We wake up, and that's what happened after that year that we lost one. Yeah. We haven't lost since.
No.
So, this is a different year with fundraising. The pandemic, fundraising was not. Fundraising also the pandemic had some consequences with fundraising as well. So New Boston Strong, a lot of the traditional New Boston Strong team members, like Elder, he was formerly New Boston Strong. Things shifted during the pandemic, and at the end of it, a lot of New Boston Strong team members also shifted because of the changes. So there's a lot of adjusting, a lot of regathering, a lot of recommitment. So it was a different fundraising season. It's a new challenge, but we welcome the challenge. We're still on top, and we don't plan to be anywhere but the top.
James, you're a smart guy. What would you say would be the number one reason that families might not give? A lot do, but there's probably some that don't. Do you encounter that, or what's your strategy dealing with families that we're trying to encourage to become part of things?
So I realize that the families that don't give are the families that it was an informal request. So it was an email that was sent, as opposed to if you call and talk to the person. It seems that it's, again, more personable, more genuine, and people are more willing to give if they can hear the passion in you, and they want to help you reach your goal, help NuPath reach its goal, and just about if they can feel how you feel about it, and you can't, and it's very hard to transfer that in an email, but talking to people or face to face with somebody, and especially if they know you took the time to call them and talk to them as opposed to a generic email. To me, that's the best way, is to approach people in a personal manner.
So you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this man. He knows of what he speaks. He is a fundraising guru. You and I were chatting before we went to record this, and I said to you, I think I've learned some of the most interesting work I do is working with the fundraising campaign every year. The lessons we learn, how we can get better, improve. money that we are raising collectively is astonishing, and it's happening, you know, at the grassroots. It's happening in the programs. It's happening with you picking up the phone and calling people, and that's a lesson. We talked to Betsy Bollier. We're just about out of time. I'll wrap it up with this. We were talking to Betsy Bollier before, and she's course #1 in individual fundraising. And she says, I just email everybody once. I don't call. I don't want to give their space. I don't email them again. And I'm like, okay, well, you've got some really good friends, because everybody else I'm saying, pick up the phone. You know, don't be afraid to email again, because I know I forget. I need to do something. I you know, sometimes need a little poke or gentle reminder. Of course, we wouldn't be where we are, James, without New Boston Strong's 49,000 at this current point, at this taping. And if we didn't have New Boston Strong leading the pack, we wouldn't have the same level of competition ever. Do you know that you're almost at the level at 49,000 that we raised the whole year, that famous year I always talk about, where we tipped to 50,
Yes.
we raised 53,000 that year, and how I say that was in some ways the most meaningful year of all, because we weren't supposed to ever raise that much, you know, and here we are at 375, one team bringing in, you know, probably, when it's all said and done, far more than that 1 year collectively. It just shows that we're capable of doing anything we put our mind to. Any parting words, James Sanon?
New Boston Strong.
You don't, you know, I know you writing us all off. We've got board members that haven't even started yet, so you look out for Board of Believers. We're coming. I don't know if I.
Elder, did you hear that, Elder? The Board of Believers are coming. I'm not worried yet, Dan.
Okay, you know how to stir the pot. That's where we're going to end it. Everybody, James, thanks so much. Thanks for all you do, for being on today. We love you. Yeah, we'll
Thank you for inviting me again. I love being on this show.
You're awesome. Okay, we'll talk
Bye,
soon.
everybody.
Bye. Okay, guys, this has been a packed program, and I'm out of time. If anyone says I talk too much, they're probably right. It's too exciting. I've got a lot to say, and I will see you at the walk on the 15th, probably if not sooner. Okay, that's it. I'm out of here. We got this. See you soon. Bye.